Hi everybody. I just wanted to film a quick video for you guys who are working at home and maybe you're stuck sitting for a while, just to give you some self-care tips so that you can still feel really awesome and not let your muscles get too stiff or tight as you're going through this really weird, funky time. So I'll share with you about maybe 5 or 6 different stretches, and some of these we have probably already gone through if you've had a treatment with me, and otherwise they'll just be really great all together, kind of as a sequence. And you can do them in whichever order, or you can pick and choose which ones you feel like you need the most, or you can just do all of them to make sure that you're kind of hitting all these different areas and pieces depending on what you feel like you need. So I would recommend holding these stretches for about 30 seconds at least and up to a minute. I always recommend to set a timer on your phone or something so that you don't have to think about it as you're going into the stretch, and you can just relax and breathe into the stretch and just enjoy it without having to worry about seconds and counting the time. So you don't want to stretch for anything less than that, especially if you're feeling some stiffness or if you're in a little bit of discomfort or pain. Definitely work these stretches for at least 30 seconds or more, ideally about a minute. So we'll start with upper body stretches, and then we'll do a couple for the lower body. So the first one is something that I teach all of my clients all the time, and it's for your upper traps, right? A lot of the time with stress, God forbid, and postural stuff and just the shoulders coming forward a lot, we end up having really tight upper traps and tight neck too. So this kind of treats all of that good stuff. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm sitting on the floor, but if you are sitting on a chair, there is a modification that you can use. So what you can do if you're sitting on the floor is to bring your arm around back. And if your mobility doesn't allow you to do that, if you feel any pinching or discomfort in the front of your shoulder, just drop it down a little bit or even come a little bit farther this way. The distance this direction is not as important. And once you have a good anchor spot there, make sure that your shoulder is dropped down. You're not letting everything fall forward, right? So you're going to come back, and then all you'll do is drop your ear to the opposite shoulder, right? Really tucking your chin here, so you're not coming out this way. You're tucking your chin and then dropping over, right? The whole point of bringing your arm around the back, or if you're sitting in a chair, grabbing underneath your chair or your couch or your bench or whatever you're sitting on, is to anchor this shoulder and this attachment point for those muscles. So you'll just come and bring it straight over, right? Tucking the chin, bringing it over. You can add a couple of modifications here because there are so many muscles in the neck that are really important to hit. You can kind of point your head back really, really gently. Be super careful with this stretch and really listen to your body if it's uncomfortable. And you can also come the other direction. This makes it a much more dynamic stretch, and you end up hitting a lot more muscles this way, right? And you'll bring it around to the other side, bringing the arm across as far as you comfortably can, or grabbing underneath your chair, right? Anchoring however you can, and tucking the chin and dropping over. That's a good one. And then doing a little bit of a semicircle to the side. And practice that one for about a minute. I recommend about a minute. Good. Another great stretch is a really simple side bend as we're sitting, and especially if we're on our computer, working from home or on the phone, we end up kind of hanging out here, which can create a lot of tension and stickiness through our rib cage, our serratus anterior, our lower traps, and our lats. So a really good stretch here is to bring your hand to the ceiling, grab with the other arm, really, really reach up and pull over. The whole idea is to create this really long line from the bottom of your hand or your wrist, through your elbow, through your armpit, all the way down to your hip, right? So really pulling this opposite direction with your other hand. And again, hold that for about 30 seconds to a minute. Both sides. Really good. And the other side. It's important here to remember to kind of tuck your hips too. It's really easy to let the rib cage pop out and let the hips kind of go, but really try and keep your whole trunk in alignment and nice and stacked while you're doing this stretch. That's going to help a lot. Good. Another great one for your rotator cuffs is to, I'll show you this one from behind because it can get a little bit tricky. So you'll bring the top of your hand to your hip, okay? And then as much as you can, pull from your elbow forward, right? So really, really gentle here. I know that my rotator cuffs are super, super tight, so it's important to be really slow and really gentle with that stretch and not overdo it. And then just hang out there for about 30 seconds to a minute. Good. This is good to let go really slowly and re-engage that muscle. It can cause a little bit of tension in the shoulder. So just kind of moving that out, right? On the other side, here. And if you have trouble getting your hand all the way over to this elbow, you can actually use a wall or a doorway to create that tension. Okay. Good. Another really good exercise, especially if you are keeping up with stretching your neck and your upper shoulders, is shoulder drops, because we want to create that healthy tension in the lower part of our trunk to create some stability for the rest of our structures through our rib cage and through our spine. So as we're loosening everything up here, we want to create some strength and tension and healthy tightness down here, okay? And this is great if you're experiencing some mid-back tightness, or even if you're having a little bit of neck pain too, because it helps bring everything into alignment and it reactivates the muscles in the back. A lot of the time when we're experiencing pain or discomfort, it's because the muscles in the back aren't actually being activated. They're getting really weak and long, right? So we want to help them work again. So what I recommend with this one, especially if you're sitting at a desk for a long period of time, is to do all the stretches first, and then the strengthening stuff after, right? So all you do is keeping the rib cage down, right? We're not coming out this direction, and keeping the hips down too, okay? We're not sticking out our butts, okay? Really kind of engaging the core a little bit to keep all of that in alignment, and that's going to keep the engagement really isolated right where we need it. So from there is to squeeze your shoulder blades together really intensely as much as you can, really focusing on that mind-body connection and thinking about your shoulder blades squeezing each other. They're just coming much closer together, keeping your core engaged, and then you want to think about dropping down as much as you can towards the floor, right? And that's like 1 rep. And you want to do that maybe 10 to 15 times, especially if you are sitting at a desk for a long time. Take a break every half hour or so and just do a bunch of these, right? After your stretches. Back, down. Back, down. Back, down. Good. Sometimes you'll get some rib pops in your mid to upper back. That's a really good sign. And that's a sign that things are kind of moving back into alignment and that your muscles are being pulled in a healthy way to help your joints stay in alignment. So keep that in mind too. If that does happen, that's great, as long as it's not painful. The last one that I have for you in this video is a chin tuck, which I think everybody needs, especially right now if we're sitting on our couches hanging out, if we're working from home, if we're on our computers more often, if we are, God forbid, on our phones for a long time. This is a great stretch exercise to help keep everything strong in the back and loosened up in the front, right? So I teach this to almost everybody. If you've ever had neck or upper back problems and you've come to see me for a treatment, then you know this exercise. So let this just be a really good reminder of the cues and how it's supposed to look and feel. But chin tucks basically look like this. Most of us hang out here for a long period of time or chronically over time. So bringing the head and neck back into alignment helps bring some strength and some length into the neck, right? Because when we're way here, we end up getting a lot of compression, and it's really bad for the vertebrae, and it also deactivates a lot of muscles and creates a lot of unhealthy tension. So, along with our stretches and our shoulder drops, what we want to keep an eye on and practice is our chin tucks. Chin tucks are not like this. Chin tucks are not like this. Chin tucks are just like that, keeping everything on one plane and really even. And you'll want to do that about 10 to 15 times as well. Great to add in with your shoulder drops too, okay? So, those are all my stretches for you today. I'm also offering one-on-one video consultations, stretching, for self-massage, for kind of anything that you guys feel you need some support in as we're going through this quarantine process. I want you to feel supported as we're carrying on, and like I'm still here for you, even though you may not be able to come in for a full treatment. So next up is going to be a video on self-lymphatic drainage, which is a really amazing technique to help boost your immune system and to help detox your whole body. And it feels great, and it's amazing for your skin. So stay tuned for that one. I'll keep sending out emails, and if you are interested in sharing this with your friends or sending on an email, forwarding it to people that you know, or if you have any ideas for other videos, things that you feel that you need support with, send me a text, give me a call, shoot me an email, do whatever you like, and we can make those videos happen too. Great. I look forward to seeing you guys soon, really soon. Take care of yourselves, stay super healthy, and enjoy your day.